Yuri, you look like you're searching for a new version of Bridge for Git, or maybe you're looking for the next 50 episodes of What's Up Mainframe. Can I interest you in a lovely mug? It has another mug on the mug.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you'll take the mug. Okay. For the small fee of $50. No, for you, take that mug, sir. Always a pleasure.
It was my mug. you just give it to him for free.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of What's Up Mainframe. We're turning the tables back, I guess, a little bit. Recently, Lukas actually interviewed me to talk about the product that I've been working on. And now we're going to pull him from behind the cameras and from this chair and put him there in the hot seat because we want to find out the project and the product that he works on, which is Bridge for Git. So, Lukas, let's just start with the basics. What is Bridge for Git? Who's it for?
Bridge for Git does pretty much what the title says. Endeavor, Bridge for Git, synchronize your Endeavor repository with the Git repository.
Yeah.
And the real question is why you should be interested to have your Endeavor repository in Git. And I think I can think of three different reasons. The first would be that you want to have your code in Git just for a reference. And even this opens up brand new options for you as a developer. Because you can just see the mainframe application code in modern IDEs, such as VS Code, and leverage additional tools that are available on this environment, like Code for Z. We have a lot of things on the table, by the way, and one of the hat goes for Code for Z.
Code for Z, yeah.
It's a really trending thing because it's useful, and actually I like it, especially because I used to be a product owner for this project for a couple of years. So I still consider it being as my baby. And it's, as I said, it's really useful. So if you have your mainframe code in VS Code, you can use some extensions from Code for Z package, like COBOL language support, for example, which gives you the highlighting of the source code. It highlights errors if you have typo or if you have missing variables, because you can connect it to copybooks as well. It even do the autocomplete, so for developers it's just faster and stuff like that.
And it's not just about using these extensions so much as it's just easier to look at multiple files inside something like VS Code.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just the code is well arranged, let's say, and much easier to read and navigate. So it's one of the biggest tasks for the developer, not only to develop and write the code, but also understand the code.
Yep.
And you can leverage other tools like COBOL control flow, for example,
Yep.
which graphically represents the code and helps you understand the structure and the dependencies between different modules and stuff like that. I don't even know how many tools
Yep.
there is in the market. So it opens up all this environment for you.
So reference, point number one.
Right. Second is the other integration with other tools like GitHub Actions, Jenkins for automation, or I don't know, Coverity, like that. All those
SonarQube.
all those things that scan your code. So now you can scan your mainframe code as well. Cool. And finally, the third option, maybe the most interesting for the most advanced customers who really progress with the modernization of the mainframe, is the real development on the code. So if you have a team and somebody from the team wants to develop your COBOL application the same way like they work with Java or C#, they can do that.
So Bridge for Git, mapping your applications from Endeavor to Git repositories. Three primary uses or entry points. Reference, just getting that ease of use in modern interfaces with your code. Integrating with tools like, especially code scanning. I think that's one of the most common entry points for customers is you get their mainframe code in Git and then they can run SonarQube scans or something.
Correct.
And then finally is actual development. So that is Bridge for Git in a nutshell. Now, if we're going by merchandise, so to speak, we have these t-shirts.
Yeah.
So what's this about? Bridge for Git 3.0.
Show it off.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is to emphasize and celebrate that recently we have released Bridge for Git version 3.
Okay.
It's a major release with a lot of new features, so I guess
what's part of 3.0?
So I'll start with the most obvious change, which is the front end, the new UI. Now we are using
just t-shirts? No.
This is the most important.
All the customers get t-shirts? No. We don't make those promises. Okay.
So we are leveraging Precision 2.0, that's something we discussed with some guests in the earlier
with
episodes.
Pooja, quite a long time ago. Yep.
Which means that we are basically follow up other Broadcom tools that are using this framework as well. So now the end user has the same look and feel. We have redesigned the layout of the page itself. So now the settings and navigation bar is on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And for other tiny things like credentials are under one tab, we add a brand new tab which is called Home. It's basically a dashboard where we list info messages, warning messages, error messages, all the items that the user, and depends on the role, is a developer or mapping admin or system admin, should be aware of so that he can focus on the task that he should take care of.
Yeah.
So that's for the UI.
And if I may,
Sure.
there are two aspects of that I really liked when I played with it. Is that at first I wasn't sure about all of Broadcom apps having this exact same look and feel, but common login screen, and then once you're inside Bridge Forget, you kind of know where to deal with settings or with credentials because it's kind of a left-hand sidebar, and so it's like, okay, if I'm working with Endeavor Web Interface or I'm working with Bridge, I know where to go. But that credentials management I think is really helpful. Because Bridge Forget, it was confusing a little bit before where you specified mainframe credentials and managed your Git server. So,
and you know what you're talking about because it was mainly your.
I used to be.
You went through all of this, right?
Exactly.
To validate what's really needed. I was guessing that you will mention the light theme and the dark mode.
Let's not talk about dark and light mode. But yes, I like, you can toggle dark mode and light mode.
You have choice now, yes.
Yeah.
So that's the most obvious when you open the new version 3.0. But the most important would be the enhanced multi-branching.
Okay.
So as you know, there was support for multi-branching in the previous version 2, but in the latest version, we just get it more improved. In a way that if you have two branches that share the same Endeavor element, now it initiates in the same single commit,
Okay.
So this is important for the developer because it offers much better and easier branch comparison, which leads ultimately to more effective and easier merge of the branches without no need of cherry picking and stuff like that. But it also benefits for the audition tools because usually they are based on the cost models. So the number of lines that it scans, the more expensive it gets. And in this case, it just represent two branches as identical. So it scans just once, which saves money and the time, of course.
Yeah, no, and that is a really crucial point because before, people who had multi-branch mappings and running code scans, it would scan the same files twice because it thought that they were effectively different, and no longer is that the case. So that's crucial.
And there is much more probably in the version 3. I would definitely suggest to read what's new section in the documentation because there is a lot of features. It took quite a long time to prepare this major version. I would still mention what we split sync and refresh, which are basically how you bring changes from Endeavor to Git and from Git to Endeavor. So now are separated and they can run in parallel, which fasten the throughput of the changes basically. We worked on CLI as well, so now it's in parity with the features of Bridge Forget. And also the delivery is different, or different options. You can install Bridge Forget as a Docker file. Or even using the Helm chart.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. And so, I mean, you mentioned checking documentation for breaking changes, but what should customers be aware of in general in terms of the migration from version 2 to version 3?
Well, again, there's a list.
There's a list.
I would always point to the documentation.
Of course.
I usually don't do it because the documentation is long and big, but this is really important to go through what's new about the breaking changes and how to migrate. Plus, we are happy to help. So you can reach out to, you can open a service ticket, you can reach out to your services consultants, or you can reach out to us because we are happy to help you with the migration.
Super.
It's quite important.
And so now we have this kind of new foundation, Bridge 3.0. So what are we looking ahead to?
Ahead to new WhatsApp mainframe, you mean? New 50 episodes? You mean the backlog of Forget? Well, it's huge. I would probably mention two features that are close that we will start work on soon, and all of them comes from the customers. One would be the editing of the existing mapping.
Okay.
And supporting multi-filtering. So if you want to specify which elements you want to map, you can specify more filters. So
Okay.
that, you can be more specific with your selection. But also, I would like to highlight that we are working on a new webhook server, and there's so many changes that we just consider it as a being a brand new product rather than a new version. It's running on a different architecture, and it would come later this week. Did I say week?
Yes.
Later this year.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Later this year, and we're just starting to talk with our customers and validate so that they know what's coming.
And this is the webhook to facilitate getting events from Endeavor into the Git repos.
Correct. So if there are changes on Endeavor, Bridge4Git will know about it and synchronize it right away.
Okay. Well, that's exciting because I know people have been asking for the ability to edit mappings and improve filtering. So that's going to be worked on soon. And then improving that webhook management. That's
and then new t-shirts, new hats, and all the market times.
Well, that's perfect. Well, that's exciting. And now you have a new face to connect with Bridge4Git, if you didn't know already. And we'll look forward to, more major versions around this product and other ones as well.
Okay.
So thanks for joining. And I shake hands with everyone.
Thank you for
there we
having
go.
me.